Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Talks on Tuesday. I'm Chelsea, and I'm here with Mary, and we're waiting for everybody to pop in.
My gosh, Louis Therese is in a bar.
Or she has a bar in her house.
I'm coming to visit you. Unmute Marie Therese, Louis Therese. Let's all say hi.
Hello.
How you doing, Gino?
Good.
Well, welcome. Our topic today is roadblocks on our spiritual path. And I just have to say, the big boulder in the middle of the road, it's kind of depressing, but and the gray clouds, skies, but the truth is, I don't mind the gray clouds and the skies. And you're driving down the highway and you see the boulders and the rocks. I like the detail. It's all in how you view it. Hi, Anka. But my nose is a little itchy. Someone's thinking about me. But anyway, for me, I think the roadblocks are emotions. I think emotions are what I would consider roadblocks on my spiritual path. And I really have got the feeling that, as physical beings, we carry past emotions. We really do just carry them around for years and years and years, even if we think we've worked through them. And I don't know if there's any way to really get around emotions or how we feel about things. I think it's just part of life.
Oh, I think they're like anything else. You just have to look at them and move on. Well, that's interesting that this should make me angry. I wonder why that is. Um, hmm. Yeah, I guess getting away from self-indulgence would be what the nuns would have told me back in the day. You're being self-indulgent.
Yeah. I saw a quote that I really liked. It's kind of where this topic came from. And the quote is, I finally found my rhythm when I realized even the steps backwards were part of the dance. And I think roadblocks and stuff like that. If we, I mean, who else feels like they take a couple step forward and a step back? I got a tickle in my throat, Mary. I got to get a lozenge.
Okay. Yeah, it's like that dance from the 50s. It was called the bunny hop. And you would hop forward and then you would hop back. So you're actually going forward, but very slowly. And I think what Chelsea's getting at is it is part of the dance, that when we encounter these situations that seem to take us backward on our path, whether it's to spirituality or enlightenment or the grocery store, they are there for a reason. Sometimes they're there because we need to slow down. There was a time when, right after my husband died, I was trying to figure out what would make me happy. And I thought, well, Christmas makes me happy. I'm going to go to this Christmas fair in England. So I got my friend Jenny and we flew to England and we had all these plans. And within 2 hours, I had broken my leg. I slipped on something in Hyde Park, like this pavement or whatever. And it came to me, when you're really supposed to slow down, but you don't slow down, life is going to slow you down. So it was a lesson. It was necessary. I still had a great trip. possibly because they gave me hands full of oxycodone, but there you go. So it's like it's all part of the journey. Don't judge it, just observe it.
Yeah. It's you know, I was talking about emotions and saying words out of my mouth, but at the same time, I think they were kind of welling up inside of me earlier in this meeting. And actually that little tickle in my throat honestly is an anxiety attack symptom I used to have. And so I think it's just I'm kind of giggling now that kind of happened, but just throwing it out there in honesty. But um uh I it I you know we're I'm just at a loss for words.
Yeah. And, when you look at this whole gamut of emotions, any one of them can become an impediment, certainly fear. We've all talked about that before, but even love, like if you think you're in love, like this capital L love that we used to experience in high school, that sometimes can overcome you even at a ripe old age of 72. That can slow you down too. That can make you take your eyes off the path. I'm very fond of that, the Fool card in the tarot deck, because the Fool is walking along the road. He's looking off into the distance. The road is forking, but he doesn't even notice it because he's like, oh, maybe he's in love. But love, fear, anxiety, anger, jealousy, all of these emotions can become impediments, and certainly have been for me.
Yeah. But also life lessons.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true.
Anybody have anything they'd like to share on this topic or a branch of this topic today?
I want to say that block roads for me are people, inappropriate time, your somebody's qualities and somebody's faults. So at people that are normal or snakes, knowing you are limitless, that show you with the finger saying you are a different color of sheep. But I laugh of them because all are the same. At an appropriate time when you feel blocked because your own reasons, and maybe you have to learn a lesson that repeats till you know or feel smart in that any direction. About qualities, when you are chosen with skills of healing and you have a powerful intuition that propels you on the top because you shine bright like a diamond and you are so beautiful at heart. About your faults, you trust what you shouldn't. Uh, it's a mistake, and to be unbalanced, it's also something bad. And scared of being the ultimate level of power that you know is in you, within you. So, or undeveloped skills that you should have in future, but now you can't have them because you are younger or something. You
So,
understand what I said?
mhm,
I wrote on a page what I should say, and I
mhm.
said,
So just how would you, for my own benefit, how do you deal with roadblocks, Anka? Like, how do you deal with, like you
I
said,
think
roadblocks are people
sometimes
sometimes for you? How
I
do you deal
fight
with
with
it?
them. Sometimes I give replays, and sometimes I ignore them. Sometimes it's um, how I feel in that moment.
Yeah,
Readers say to me that people that don't believe in me, I shouldn't say to them repeatedly that I'm a healer. Just let to see them that in me without uh, being so intrusive or something like this.
yeah,
And to be in a balance every time, because that's helped me to be bright and to be uh, beautiful, like my heart is, and to
yeah,
show them what I am, really what I am, not to be fake.
yeah. It's like sometimes just feeling the glow within us, even though, yeah, I sometimes feel like I just need to be myself and be who I am and allow that to shine. And
Yes, it's hard to be
if
open, because you could shine very, very like a diamond in
yeah,
8 directions or more. Like a diamond, it's mm, 8 colors, I think, when it shines, when the
yeah,
light goes down on it, is the most beautiful thing you could see, and it's very rare. And I think I'm like a diamond. I don't know. I like in the Eric Pearl book.
yeah, yeah. The like the facets of one big gem. We're all different surfaces of the facets. We're here to shine. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Uh, I think I have a lot of years, and what I have learned is you need your life experiences, because that brings you into a different level
Mhm.
of understanding, and also that you are working on yourself. And every time there is a life lessons, you must remember, you must be very careful and think how you are going to react towards it, because that lesson will come around again if you don't act it the right way. It sounds really terrible to say a thing like that, but our life is all about lessons. And once you have a lesson, think about it, think how you can handle it, how should you have handled it, and everything. And what I would like to say, every life lesson happens in the time when you are ready to learn from that life lesson. It is to make you a better person, and it is to help you on your path of enlightenment, and to be a deeper and more a whole person in yourself. So life lessons is not nice, but see it as a great necessity, and see that you are can be much better once you are done. And remember, that life lesson will come only when you are ready for it. That's all I want to say.
It's true. Very true.
Perfect.
I was just
That's
gonna
one.
say, I was just gonna say the word compassion, that is something that we learn along the way during these life lessons.
Compassion for
Definitely, of
ourselves.
course, compassion is such an important part because that makes you understand the other person. Whereas if you're younger, you tend to look only at your own side and you don't see it from the other person's side, and you can't see if you act this way, how it's going to play out, or if you do it this way, how it is going to be. Compassion is absolutely a very important part.
Yeah.
I would say empathy with compassion and love and respect. And I think even if I am younger, I know many things. Yes, all we tend to be selfish or something, but you have to develop your skills always to be better.
Yeah. So, Anka, what's the difference between compassion and empathy? I know I can't think of it in my head right. Compassion
Compassion is to be good, empathy to be put in other situation
to be in
and
somebody's
react
shoes.
good and not bad. Yes, and react good at it. I think
Yeah.
kindness is something compassionate, but the difference I don't know very well. Mm,
I think
Can
I
I
think you
try?
summed it up pretty good.
Can I try?
Sure.
what?
I think compassion is when the feeling is in your heart, that you are with the moment and that you live it through. Empathy is that you look at that person and you say, I understand what you are going through. I know the road, I know the loneliness, I know this and that, so on. That is empathy. That is not a completely part. You understand the person and you understand the emotions and the path of that person. Whereas compassion is, it is more a direct influence into your own life, where you are actively a part of the situation.
Yeah.
Right. And I think part of the challenge of compassion and empathy is that it can lead to being in a rescue mode. You have to allow other people their journey.
That
You,
is very important.
you can feel for them. You can, if they ask you for help, you can give it, but trying to rescue them will interfere. They have their karma, they have their path. And so these things are so tricky. Maybe that's why we need these lessons again and again and again. I'm thinking about, this conversation, which I thought was going to be quite simple, once again turns out to be very complex. And if we lived by ourselves on this planet, we would be just fine. But people and the emotions they bring to the fore. I was just thinking about people, and from the very time we're babies, we thrive on their applause. When our parents praise us, when our teachers praise us, and we never get a chance, or rarely get the chance, to enjoy our own appreciation of ourselves, which is all that really matters, to be content with what you've done. I don't need someone else to tell me, oh, you did a good job. How often in school did we ever get to say, I did a great job? I'm content with that. We're so used to judgment here, it becomes part of who we are.
Yeah. We spend the first years of our life building our self-worth on the feedback we've gotten from everybody we love and care about in our lives. And then we come to a point where we realize that's not the real self-worth.
Yeah.
And then we investigate find out where that self-worth is, and maybe we find it, maybe we don't. No. Your smile today seems very at ease, Anka.
I would like to hear Renee if she wants to say something. I like here.
No? Okay.
Yeah. Yes. I always have something to say.
I thought something like this.
Yeah. So I'm really enjoying hearing all of the different feedback that I have heard thus far. And one thing I think in my own journey that has been the biggest roadblock for me has been patience. And that has been learning patience for myself, because you can't be patient with anybody else until you understand what is what patience for yourself actually means. And I'm often very inspired. I'm often able to see way much further ahead than my body, mind, and spirit are capable of handling at some particular moment in time. And maybe that's wonderful in some ways, but maybe it takes its toll on me because I often shoot or aim really high, and I also often hit the target. And even if I don't hit it in quite the way that I expected, I still do pretty well achieving or accomplishing what I intend or what I set out to achieve. But there is a cost. And I always pay the cost because I forget that, I have limitations. I forget that I'm just a human being. And as much as my spirit might be full of inspiration and willingness and curiosity and all the rest of those things that move me, often at the end of the story, it's like, oh, I can't believe I actually just did that. And I did it so well. And it was so wonderful, or better than I could have expected. And yes, there are often things that I trip over, and there are often things that happen that I don't plan. But I also have to be reminded that I don't know everything. I don't know how it's supposed to unfold. I don't know how to do certain things. I may need to ask for assistance along the way. So if I hand it over more often, then I don't have that sort of weight of feeling as though I'm running with this big project and somehow I have to get to the finish line, whatever the cost. So I'm grateful to be inspired. I love that. I love that part of myself. I love that part of that way of living, but I also too, it's very tiring. It really is very tiring. And so as I began learning patience for myself, I don't have to be excellent all the time. I don't have to, excel at everything. If I'm willing to try something I've never done before and I don't do it perfectly, so what? So being kind to ourselves and being patient. And in that too, we're also being kind and patient with everybody else that we have to deal with along the way. So it's more than just for your own comfort and ease. It's for everybody else's benefit too that we do these things. So that's what
Yeah.
Renee has to say to that.
I get a vision as you're talking, we're all on that spiritual path, and I get a vision of you, and no matter where you are, you stop, you're rooted, you're rooted in the plane of, possibilities, not possible, trying, not trying, but still you like bloom and have a moment of happiness and smiling, and it just reminds me that wherever we are on our journey on that spiritual path, just like freeze right there and everything is really okay.
Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Yep.
It's not a
Yep.
contest. It's not a race. It's not a competition. It's a journey.
If
a
it was, it
possibility.
would be with ourself.
Yes.
And why race ourself?
I am the tortoise and the hare.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. And kind of leads us back to joy, which is at the root of it all. We're trying to kind of figure out how to have the topic of joy also in the topic of roadblocks, but I think we kind of ended there. Don't you think, Mary?
That's good, unless Gino has something to add in this last minute.
No, I'll just say that I enjoyed all of your shares very much. They were all very beautiful, and I can relate to all of them. And that word joy came up at the end, and I don't have assembled how to say how the topic of joy could be included maybe next week or another week. But I think joy is something kind of important to talk about. That would be my suggestion.
Great idea.
Yeah.
And I think I'm next week, so I will take that on.
Right, Joymaster.
Maybe you'll help me.
I don't know what I could do.
You could do a little dance and that'll make me very happy and joyous.
Oh, sure I can.
Of course.
Next week.
Okay.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
Thanks, everyone.
See you next week.
Thanks. Yeah,
Thank you.
thanks for joining us today. And we have everybody enjoy their week. And I really love how we all kind of ended with smiles. And thanks, Gordy and Barbara, for joining us, even if you had to be off screen and being here with us. See you guys next week.
Love you all. Bye-bye.
Bye.